Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. In this video we're going to answer a few questions. One of them is going to be in regards to what cameras and what brackets we use to make videos like this, and because a lot of people have asked and there's kind of quite a bit of mixed answers there. We might save that one to a little bit later on. And the other one is we're going to have a little bit of chit chat about trying to save people thousands, really, just a bit of advice. So I suppose if you're smarter than me and more successful than me, then you probably don't need to listen to what I've got to discuss, and just trying to open people's minds and get them thinking, things to think about, and a bit of advice based on what I know, so you can take it or leave it. Once again, if you know better, then it's just advice, it's just ideas, just to get people thinking, and that is, I suppose, what car to own, what vehicle to own, whether you should buy a new one, whether diesels are the go, whether you should buy a new diesel, or whether you should just wait for the hybrid. And we have mentioned it a little bit in some other videos. So I'll tell you what, let's do the phone bracket, and there's part of the answer right there. Let's do that first. Now, I use this vehicle as an example. I'm just doing a road test. This is after an injector replacement job. We do a good 20k road test to make sure there's no faults, there's no issues whatsoever. So a really good road test, and then a really good check over. Once again, we check as we go, we check before we go, we check after the drive, but really thoroughly, double, triple check everything, make sure nothing's been forgotten and there's no mistakes. So this vehicle, I notice the suspension's a little bit firm. It's like you can sort of feel every bump. I don't know what's in there. You probably want to know that too. If I remember at the end of the video, when we get towards the end or somewhere, I'll just stop along the way and we'll get out and we'll have a look, and I'll let you know what it is. But to me, it's one of the ones, I don't know what it's like on corrugations in the outback, I don't know what it's like on the tracks, but driving on the blacktop like this, I can seem to feel every bump. And the bull bar, it's wobbling around. Now it's got that, you can see the vibration. You might be able to see it in the picture, I'm not sure, probably not actually, maybe. It looks like a TGM from outside. I've already forgotten. There are that many cars come and go. I don't remember from 1 minute to the next really, but it looks like a TJM from in here. Not picking on that, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that's what it looks like it is. And yeah, wobbling around a bit. So we're not in the outback, but we're out on some sort of country-ish blacktop roads. They're not the best quality, so you do get a fair bit of vibration. So let's see if that comes through into the camera. Now, to answer the question, what camera? Quite often for videos I'm just using phones. So we've got a few Apple phones, old phones, new phones, different phones. So a lot of the time I'm just using phones for videos. And what phone holders or brackets do I use? Now, that's a really good question, because a number of different ones. Now, some of the best ones I had until recently, the way I see it, it's just a plastic bracket, and I didn't really want to spend more than about 10 bucks on it, you know. I think 20 bucks would be spending a lot. But I found these ones on eBay back in, I don't know, probably 2000, and whether it was 12, 13, 14 or 15, and they did the job, and they were $3 or $4 each, and they were actually really good. I had two of those. If I had my time again, I would have purchased more, but you can't get them anymore. My daughter accidentally broke one, and I asked her if she could please get the phone out of the car. She didn't know how to release it. Got busted, all good, you get that, but I was down to one, and that's one of the ones that I've been using. But quite often they do wobble a bit and they squeak a bit, and I have to pack things under them and that sort of thing. So I've been looking for a while, and I've tried a few different ones off eBay, mainly cheaper ones, because what I found is you can pay more. You can pay 20 or 30 bucks, 40 bucks, and you still get rubbish. And we've seen those other brands in customers' vehicles who have spent a bit more money, and you know, they're just sloppy. You know, they've got brand names on them. I'm not here to bag other brands, but they've got brand names on them, and you know, they're just not that good. Now, I sort of just had enough of it. I went, you know, I've had enough of this, and I'd heard of Quadlock. So what I did, I said, well, you know, I don't know where I think it popped up somewhere on something, you know, you see it every now and then, and since I purchased one, it's popped up a lot more. So yeah, the Quadlock thing popped up, I clicked this, clicked that, did a bit of research. I went, look, for the sort of money they're asking, this stuff's got to be quality. The cars I've seen it in, which is not that many, so to me it's kind of a new thing. I'm sure a lot of people had it for years, and it's not that new, because since I've been taking notice, I have actually noticed that there's some different suction mounts to this, some older types, and I've spoken to people about them since, and they're all giving really good feedback, particularly on the old ones. Okay, so because obviously that's what they've had. So what I did, I got one, I set it up, and as soon as it came out of the package, I was really impressed with what I saw, and before I even used it, I wanted more. So I organised that, and basically I've only used them limited at the moment. We're only about a week or two in at this stage, so this is preliminary. So I'm not trying to sell you Quadlock brackets or anything, I'm just giving you the facts. They are expensive, right? So the bracket and the phone holder, you're looking close to $100. I think it was just under, and then a 10% discount, so about $85. They say free delivery, but you know it's all included, nothing's for free. So that includes delivery to your door. I believe it's an Australian company. I believe they're local somewhere around Melbourne, and of course they get them made overseas. Now we'd love for things to be Australian made, but you know what? Things just aren't Australian made anymore. It's just how it is. So you can either have a phone holder or you go without. But what I notice is the quality's awesome. It sucks onto the screen crazy. When you get one, you'll see what I mean. I don't, you know, it doesn't bother me. I'm not trying to sell you one or not, but it's what I'm using for both holding the phone and for making videos. Now, it's got an adjustment there. You can move the angle left to right. Where the gimbal is, where you put the phone on and off, that's adjustable. I've got it adjusted at the moment so that you can clearly have the phone in a landscape position and get good picture. You could use an old phone as a dash cam if you wanted to. Look, I just find it really good. It suits my needs, so I have two in each vehicle, plus I've got an extra one to do exactly what I'm doing now. So that means it's going to be installed and removed to many vehicles, so I can tell you what the suction cap's going to be like in doing so. And the other vehicles, although we parked them in the shade a lot because we know the sun wrecks everything, they're going to be in the sun, in the shade, they're going to get used a lot, and we'll have further feedback. Okay, so anybody that's used the Quadlock, feel free to put in the comments the pros and cons, what you found, because this is an honest review. It's not even a review yet, it's preliminary. I like it. If you want to be sure, wait a little bit. I already know from, you know, I've mentioned that this is what I'm using on our Facebook groups and stuff like that. I know there's people that have already purchased them. That's awesome. So if that's you, you can put that in the comments as well. And guys, just letting you know, that's what we're using. All the cheap ones, I've pretty much given up on those, getting rid of them all. So it doesn't matter what they were eBay specials. There was never anything any good until now. Quadlock is what you'll remember, and if I really like them, they'll end up being a playlist on our YouTube channel or channels called Quadlock, as simple as that. Anything related to them will get linked into those playlists. So that's the first part of the video, I suppose, the Quadlock. We're already 7 minutes, so doesn't leave us much time for what was the rest of the video. Okay, basically cars, you know, there's a lot of people in two minds about what cars they should keep, how long for. You know, there's the financial side, and is there financial crisis coming, what's going to happen. If anyone had a crystal ball with what's going to happen with certain things that I'm not going to mention, you know what I'm talking about. There's so many things that are going on at the moment, you don't know which way it's going to go. So what I would always say is just plan for it a little bit, you know. Don't spend all your money, don't live week to week. Try and save some money, try and cut some spending, and put some money aside and prepare for things. I'm not going to go into too much more detail. It's meant to be an automotive channel, not a financial channel, or prepare for possible scenarios either, but you never know. If you want to hear about that, just let me know, because you know, you might just want to get on my Facebook and just press friend on Anthony Prado Forby, because you want to hear my views on other things, if that's the case. Because I do share, that is not necessarily, it includes some car information, vehicle information, but it's not necessarily only vehicle information. It says on Facebook what's on your mind, so quite often I post what's on my mind. Now, it won't necessarily be notified, you won't be necessarily notified, because you know, there's a lot of things that you've got, a lot of friends, you've got a lot of groups, you've got a lot of pages, things you've liked, so Facebook can only feed you what they think or what they want to feed you. That's newsfeed, you don't go there. What you need to do is manual go to Anthony Prado Forby my page and skim through the post and go, this guy's a nutter, unfriend, or I've had enough for now but I might want to check it out later, so unfollow, I'll just check what I want, whatever. Or you might go, actually, good idea, thanks for making me think about this, right? And look, one day Facebook might not work, and well, hopefully the YouTube still works then, and the final announcement will be UHF Channel 50. Yes, we're getting a bit crazy now, aren't we? We're going towards worst case scenario. That's probably not going to happen, and there's nothing to worry about anyway, as long as you've got all your affairs in order, and there's still time. It's never too late, so it's time to start listening. Okay, spending money on vehicles. Personally, it all depends on how much money you have or you're making, and how secure your income is, and if you lost your job. Could you still afford to make those payments if it's a loan or a lease because it's a tax deduction? What if you lost your job, okay? What if you didn't have your job anymore? That's what you got to think. Think of plan Bs, plan Cs. What would you do? Do you really need a car loan? Okay, so you don't need a loan, you got plenty of money. Should you buy a 300 series? Well, beautiful vehicle. I mean, ugly at the front, I don't like it, but very beautiful vehicle as far as it's a more efficient, cleaner V6 with plenty of power and torque, blows the V8s away. All the people that kept the 200 series, I can see what you did and why you did it, the old V8, love it, but it's kind of crazy. They've got a newer vehicle that's cleaner, it's got more power, more torque, so you've paid top dollar to keep the old one and you didn't get the new one. But no, I'm not telling you to buy a 300 series, although I think they're awesome, and you never know, one day I might even purchase one myself. You never know. We are vehicle technicians though, Toyota specialists, Prado specialists, Hilux specialists, so these are the sorts of things we do. We need to use the vehicles ourselves to self-educate ourselves about them, you know, and more training, so that's what we need to do. Doesn't mean that's what I'm going to do. My advice and what I'd like to be able to say is, I hope that 2022 this year Prado that we've purchased is the last diesel we ever buy, at least new. Probably the last diesel we ever buy perhaps, but certainly the last new diesel we ever buy. Now, if we keep doing really well in business and we need tax deductions, we may need to get a 300 series and learn about those and be able to share even more information on our channel. That's a possibility. But for you, how well is your business doing? Or how well is your job doing? Because car loans are bad debt. I highly recommend against it, so don't do that. If you're thinking of upgrading, well, if you've got an old 90 series and it's done 500,000 Ks, maybe I can understand. The 120 Prados are an awesome vehicle. I don't care if it's a V6, a 1KZ or a 1KD. I'd probably suggest depending on your use, and that's all that information's in our other videos to help you decide which engine would suit you, and we can have more videos on that. You just need to let me know in the comments your situation and what would you advise for me, and maybe we'll have a video like that that can give that sort of advice. But I really honestly believe if you look around the world with what's going on, meeting emissions targets and stuff like that, you know, diesels are certainly one of the first to go. I believe that, you know, diesels are on the way out in many countries, including Australia. I suppose at least the last of them are the cleanest, so if you can afford one and you want to get one, then you go ahead and get one. That's up to you, of course. But I believe that there'll probably be a new Prado sooner rather than later. I mean, not the one that's been around since 09 that's been facelifted and engine swapped and whatever till 2022, you know, 13 years, a lot longer than they normally do. I mean a new vehicle. I haven't seen anything, I haven't heard any whispers from anyone. It's just what I suspect. It's been so long, and I feel that a hybrid needs to be put into the Prado, but when they do that, I just feel that it could be a new vehicle. This is just my hunch. It's just a hunch. Now, personally, hybrids, I was never really that excited about them. It depended on the systems they used to use, the setup. It used to depend where you lived, I suppose. If you were in urban, busy city areas, then they may have worked for you, but not for us. If you're out straight onto the highway like this, then there wasn't a lot of benefit. But they've changed now the way they work. Now, of course, we're talking Toyota hybrid. Toyotas do it best, so we always at this stage recommend sticking with Toyotas. There's some other brands we like. We mentioned in other videos. If you want to hear it again, you can hear again in another video. You know, like Subarus, Hondas, and stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying that's ranking second, third, fourth, anything like that, but there's some other brands. Generally, Japanese-made cars, right? We're going to talk. I haven't talked about the Mitsubishis yet. We're going to talk about the Mitsubishi soon. So subscribe, turn the bell on if you don't want to miss all this stuff. You know the deal. Smash the like if it's helping you decide if you're going to buy that vehicle or not. Okay. Diesels, I would hold off. I wouldn't buy the new diesel. If you've ordered a new one, you know, look, like I said, if you can afford it, it's not a loan, it's a good tax deduction, your job's really secure, or you're running a business that's really secure and it's going to be a tax deduction, you can afford it, go for it, no worries. If you're the typical family that's getting a typical loan for a vehicle, you know, I don't know that it's the vehicle for you. If you've got a 1KD, you know I love the 1KDs. We've got two of the 1KDs, they're not going anywhere. I still say last of the best. The 1GD is acceptable now, but there's a price to pay for a new vehicle, and there's a price to pay for purchasing even good second-hand vehicles now, even crappy second-hand vehicles. Beware what crappy second-hand vehicles you're going to get. What I'm trying to say is, if you've got an awesome vehicle, now's the time to look after it and hold on to it and really cherish the vehicle, because you've got an awesome vehicle and now's not the time to blow the spare money you had or get a loan, which is even worse. Anyway, my opinion. Now, a lot of people should probably have a Corolla or a second car. So if you've got an old 120 diesel, maybe you just want to keep that for the trips. Maybe that's going to be better for the environment to have a Corolla hybrid that gets 4 litres per 100 Ks. A second vehicle. You don't want to be collecting too many vehicles. Can you run the house on one four-wheel drive and one Corolla hybrid? You know, I think things like Corolla hybrids are going to get really popular. It's already, I think it was 80% of Toyota's sales of the new Camrys are hybrids, okay? The hybrid setup's awesome. It's almost like an electric vehicle, right? So the petrol engine really efficient. It runs one of the engines. It can be an engine or a generator. If you like, it's a generator, you know, and then you've got your electric motor. They're just going to probably get better, more powerful, better batteries. So they're going to have more zip, more efficiency, and they're going to last longer. I just wish they'd add a plug to it as well. That might happen one day. So that's why it's hold off on everything. But if you're thinking about a new vehicle, I'd suggest a new Corolla hybrid for about 30 grand. It's probably a lot better value for money than a Prado GXL for $75,000 if you've already got a 120 Prado that only owes you 20 grand, or a 150 Prado that only owes you 30 or 40 grand. You've had it for years, owes you even less than that now. Do you get what I mean? Anyway, they're the things I wanted to speak about. I haven't got a drink here. I'm just about done with a dry throat from talking too much. You count how many words in this video, I don't know, but I did it for you. I hope you like the Quadlock. I love it. If you just like jumping into things, go ahead and buy one and put on your purchase because Anthony said so. And you know what? Then maybe one day, look, if you hold off, I might even try and organise a promotional discount where, I don't know, Oz Prado crew can get 20% off. But I suppose we've got people watching from all around the world, so you know, look, we like them. Let us know in the comments what you want to do, what we need to speak about, what we need to show you, and we're going to focus on that because we're here to help. We're going around in circles here chasing our tail. That's a road test complete. We'll head back to base. We're only a few minutes away, and bada bing, bada boom. There you go. You haven't had it for a while. You know what I mean? Subscribe, turn the bell on, and smash that like button. Catch you on the next one, guys. See ya.